Alright, so I think most people would agree that entrance music is one of the most important parts of an entrance, if not the most important part, which is why I want to go over some superstars that went from having some really good theme songs to some really bad theme songs, or at least not as good as what they had before, to where you're like, why? Why did you change it in the first place? It was fine, now you just made the entrance worse. Now, having raw entrance music in the videos wouldn't be the smartest idea, copyright claim and all. I'm gonna go ahead and just show some short clips of the video games with the old theme songs and new theme songs whenever I need to, and I might even talk over it. So now that you know that, hopefully there's nobody butthurt going, oh, why do you talk over the music? Oh, why is it so short? Why is it from the video game? You know why now. Also, I won't go over superstars who had really good theme songs before, and now they have good theme songs too, or great theme songs, just not as good as the previous one. It's just, small little difference, and that's the case for me for Steve Austin. I prefer Glass Shatters, but the current one he's got is perfectly fine for what he's doing right now, which is just coming by every once in a while, hitting the stunner or whatever at a reunion show or something like that. So I like both Steve Austin theme songs, I just prefer Glass Shatters just a little bit more. Now let's move on to the actual superstars that I feel should totally go back to their old theme songs. And I'm gonna start it off with Jeff and Matt Hardy, the both of them on their own. You see, as a tag team, they're using the tag team music, which is fine, but why is Jeff still using that when he comes out on his own? He had a much better theme song his prior run with the WWE, and I'm talking about the lyrical theme song, No More Words. That was so much better. People loved it when he changed to that, and people are still asking for it now because they see, like, why is he not coming out to that music when he's on his own? And that kind of gave Jeff Hardy more of a main event feel than the other music, and I don't see why they're not bringing it back. And it's the same for Matt. He had much better music in his prior run, and I'm talking about the Live for the Moment theme song, the one that constantly gets memed, where people change the lyrics from I can slap a tornado to I can slap a tomato and I can dry hump a seal. Despite the memes, that was a hype theme song. Like, it got people hype when it hit, and it was better than the Deletion theme song in my opinion, and also the tag team music. Moving on to one of the most recent theme song changes, which caused I think everybody to go why, because the first one was so much better, and that's Elias. Elias went from the Drift theme song to this new one, which I don't even think is released yet. And even though with Elias, most of the times we didn't hear his theme song, because when he came out in silence with his guitar, talking on the microphone and trying to perform before, of course, getting interrupted, and we'd only hear it when he'd win, which wasn't too often because most of the time he loses. But still, in the odd times that we did hear it, was a good theme song. I liked it. But this new one, though, this new one performed by Elias is just so much worse. And I think I get why they did change it, and it's because Elias' whole thing is that he can play guitar, he can make music, so why not make him make his own entrance music, just like John Cena, for instance. But now I think I get why they'd always have Elias get interrupted when he'd perform. It's because when you let him go and you let him actually perform, this is the result, this new theme song. And even though we haven't heard the full thing, I highly doubt from what we've heard so far that it can surpass Drift. It definitely can't, just from the sounds of it. There's no way it can be better than Drift, unless, the rest of it is so much better than what we heard in those couple episodes of SmackDown. But in Elias' case, I'd like to think that maybe there's hope that he goes back to the old one, because this is still a new theme song, and they haven't released a full version, and now he's out with an injury, so maybe they go ahead and they're like, you know what, the old theme song sounded better. Once you come back, just go back to the old theme song. Nobody's going to remember the other one anyways, because we haven't even released it. So hopefully that'll be the case once he comes back. Let's be honest though, probably not. Next up is one that I think everybody's going to agree on. If you don't, you're probably weird. And that's Shelton Benjamin, man. Ever since he came back, everybody's been asking for it. Everybody's been asking, where's Ain't No Stopping Me Now? Because that was a great theme song for Shelton. And since he came back, they gave him this generic theme song, and he still had the same generic theme song. They still haven't went back to Ain't No Stopping Me Now, which was so much better. Whether it was the heel version or the face version, either one was much better than what he's got now. Even Shelton Benjamin himself on Twitter said that he doesn't like the music that he's got right now, and yet they still haven't changed it. And even though the old theme song is called Ain't No Stopping Me Now, and there's a lot of stopping of Shelton Benjamin going on ever since he came back, at least from winning matches. And at the moment, the only thing you probably can't stop him from is losing matches. It's still just so much better than the generic stuff that he's got at the moment. So hopefully at some point they realize, oh, wait a minute, we got Shelton here. He's a great talent. Let's go ahead, give him a little push. Give him back that old theme song that sounds so much better than the current one that he's got. but just like in Elias's case, let's be real here, that's probably not gonna happen. Now next up is a superstar who's had this current theme song for years now, years and years, over a decade, and initially the change was okay, it was fine at the time, but now it's just not as fitting. You listen to it now compared to the previous one he had, and it just isn't as good, and I'm talking about The Big Show. So for Big Show, for the most part, his theme has always started with, well, it's The Big Show, and it's been a version of that, and it's a different version of that over the years. This current one started once he went to ECW. They gave him a slower paced theme song, and at the time, it fit with The Big Show, with his heel turn, with his run in ECW where he was a dominant champion. It didn't work at the time. It was a fine change. But then once he left ECW and came back, they still continued to use the same theme song when it just didn't fit anymore. It just didn't sound as good. It was just a slower paced version. People used to, make fun of The Big Show, calling him Big Slow. Well, with this theme song, it kind of felt like it, because it was a slower paced theme song. The first one, or not the first one, but the one before that, which he used from like 2002 to 2007, was quicker pace. It got you way more excited, got you way more hype. When you heard the previous theme song, it was like, oh, The Big Show's here. When you hear the current theme song, it's like, oh, it's The Big Show. That's how big of a difference it is. It's like taking Austin's theme song and you replace the glass shattering noise at the beginning with the sound of a plastic cup falling down off a table. Honestly, I think the best thing that came out of Big Show's current theme song, the best use they've had for it, is using it in the Jericho and Big Show tag team entrance matchup, because that, in my opinion, is one of the best entrance musics or entrance theme songs for a tag team ever. And if they had used the quicker pace version of, well, it's The Big Show, then maybe it wouldn't have sounded as good. I think the slow pace here worked with Jericho's theme song, both of them being matched up together, but that's about it as far as, good things to come out of Big Show's current theme song. Aside from being good for a mashup, I don't think it's good on its own, at least not as good as the previous theme song. But out of all of them, there is one superstar's theme change, actually they've changed it a couple times, that bugs me more than the others, because it was so good before, and none of the ones that he's had after have been as good. And I'm talking about Kane. Kane, and also, by the way, I'm not saying that Kane should go back to his very first theme song. I know a ton of people love that theme song, and to a lot of people, that's Kane's best theme song. The original one, because they associated with the first time they saw Kane. It was, they associated with Scary Kane, Dominant Kane. But in my opinion, and this also might cause an argument in the comment section or whatever, because some people like this one, some people like the other one. For me, Kane's best theme song, or my favorite one, was Slow Chemical, the one he used from like 2002 to 2008 maybe, I think it was. Basically his only lyrical theme song. All the other ones don't have any lyrics, so I'm pretty sure off of that, like I said, it's Slow Chemical. You guys can find it. I'm gonna show it on video from the video game. To me, that was the coolest Kane theme song. That, along with Kane and the Pyro. You mix that theme song with Kane and the Pyro when he comes out, the explosion, when he raises his arms up and puts them down, the explosion there in the ring as well. It wasn't like a real complicated entrance, it was pretty simple, but the theme song matched with the Pyro was great. And now that they've brought back the Pyro, it's a perfect time to bring that theme song back once Kane comes back. And it's not that his current theme song is bad, I don't think it is, but Slow Chemical was just so good. Here's how I rank Kane's theme songs. Number 1, Slow Chemical. Number 2, honestly might be a tie for me between the original, which I think is called Burn, and Veil of Fire, the remix, the current one that he's got. And then at number 3, the original Veil of Fire, that one that he used once he first came back in like 2012 with the new mask. And then at number 4 is Man on Fire. That one I thought was weak compared to the other ones. That's the one he used right after Slow Chemical once he got drafted to Raw in like 2008. And on the theme of Kane's themes, I want to ask you guys, because I know there's a big group that thinks his original theme's the best one, and another group that thinks Slow Chemical is his best one. I'm of course part of the Slow Chemical group. I want to ask you guys which one you think was Kane's best theme song between those two. So there's gonna be a poll in the top right corner of the video. Go ahead and vote, and let's see what the majority thinks. And in the comments section, let me know the other superstars that you think should go back to their old theme song, and if so, which theme song. Oh, and by the way, how fitting WWE today posted up a greatest entrance pyro video, a top 10, and they put Kane at number 10. What kind of blasphemy is that? Kane should be at the top of the list. I agree with the top comment on that video. Kane was head and shoulders above the others. I'd also like to give a shout out to the whole effing show on YouTube, because I got the idea for this video once I saw a recommended video from theirs on YouTube where they went over superstars who upgraded their theme songs, and I was like, yo, I want to talk about superstars that should go back to their old theme songs. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, click the like button down below, and I'm out. See ya.